We are joined by Omaha. We'll take an opening statement from Coach Buttermore, and then we'll open it up for questions.
I didn't know I had an opening statement. Uh, I thought it took us a minute to work into the match. Played great defense in the first set, but we hit negative 0.62, so we're not going to win many sets against good teams hitting negative. Set two was a little more even statistically, and then obviously in set three it was a lot closer. And I thought our service pressure started to build up in set three, and we did a much better job on the pins, slowing them down at the net and getting in transition. And then, just came up short in a couple swings at the end. So,
Coach and the players are ready now to field your questions.
For Coach and McKenna, McKenna was the only player to hit positive in the first set, but you kind of got your pins, working and got some more people involved in sets two and especially set three. What was kind of the message in between sets from you, Coach, and McKenna? How did you kind of fire your team up?
We weren't doing some of the things we talked about. We did not want to hit the ball into the middle of the court, and we did a lot of that in the first set, and that was just probably a little bit of nerves. And we needed, in the sets that were close, in the third set especially, we really did a good job attacking the pin blockers and the edges of the block, and we didn't do that in the first set, and that's why the pins hit negative. So I don't know what you said, Kenna.
One of my goals is to just kind of lead by example and help everyone else get on board too. So I think after the first set, the KU started kind of staying with me a little bit more, opened up other options, and we started being a little bit more efficient across the board, and I think it helped a lot.
Coach, 14 service errors tonight. Was that talked about before this match?
I honestly didn't know we missed that many. We always want to be aggressive. We've lost championship games before missing zero serves, and you just cannot be tentative from the service line. So some of those misses were bad, and some of them were, at the end of a 3 or 4 point run or just out of bounds, and we call that a good miss, and we'll live with it as long as we're getting something out of the serve. So my parents were the first ones to mention the service errors to me as well, and it's just part of the game. Obviously, we'd like to have maybe 5 aces and 10 errors, and that would have been a little bit better, but we didn't. But we're always going to be aggressive from the service line.
And this question for McKenna and Rachel, if you could kind of play off what Coach had said in his opening remarks, and specifically, what in that third set from your vantage point were you doing better than the first 2 sets?
It was focusing on attacking the little things for us, taking care of the easy balls, and just doing our jobs, our blocking assignments, just being more ready defensively and obviously more aggressive offensively. So just focusing on doing all of those things, taking care of them, and I think we started to do it a little bit more in the third, which created a closer set.
I also think we just played it point for point, like mini games to 5 is what we always say. So instead of just thinking each point's the end of the world, we're like, okay, we're just going to be the first to 5, first to 10, and work our way from there instead of just trying to take it all at once.
Rachel, you're the lone fifth-year, lone honored on senior day. You've experienced 4 Summit League championship matches and finally got to win one this year. Can you just reflect on kind of your experience at Omaha, your experience being from Kansas and getting to come play here, and the opportunities that your returning teammates have in front of them in the future?
My journey has certainly just been such a whirlwind, and it's so great that in the end, after 4 tries, that we could finally pull off what I always knew we were capable of. We came so close so many times, and I knew this team had the talent and we were destined to do it. So I'm glad I was just able to witness that and be a part of it. I couldn't have asked for a better finale to my career. And then being from Kansas and getting to come home to KU, I did not expect at all. I didn't even think that was a possibility, but when I heard the community here, just being from a small town from Kansas, always roots for you, and that I get to have my home and my family come here and support me in my last game was just awesome, and I couldn't have asked for a better ending.
Rachel, you're the lone senior, so this team is going to come back strong, and they're going to keep fighting. And this is maybe a question to everybody, but how awesome is it to know that you guys are young and you guys are you're gonna be back? This isn't your last time.
No, like just being able to be the oldest on the team and see how much fire and grit such a young team has, that takes a lot of maturity. So I know even being noted as a young team, like they're mature and they work hard. It was great to see with 9 newcomers, 9 returners, that integration into what is a whole different atmosphere. We worked hard for it, and I know that the standard and culture at Omaha is high to work hard and love one another and lean into our values as a culture and a program, and I know they're going to succeed.
This is for Coach, and then McKenna and Rachel, you guys can just kind of tag team off of that. But Coach, yesterday you told me that you hadn't had a chance to reflect on this whole season, starting 0-9, playing in front of the largest attended women's sporting event in global history, all the way to winning a Summit League championship. Now that the season is over, you do get a chance to reflect. What are some of your initial thoughts on kind of how this season started and how it ended?
Yeah, I think I told the team yesterday, I don't know if it was after I talked to you or not, but maybe it was in Servant Pass today. It all melds together when we're in these things. You know, I wouldn't have traded the journey, any part of the journey. And so that's, I guess, the first part of my reflection. Obviously, there were games we'd have loved to win. You know, we're a win away from owning the Summit League outright. We would have loved to win this match tonight. I said that before the match. Just kidding. But yeah, I wouldn't have traded any part of it, you know. And so, and there were a lot of ups and downs in the results, off the court, on the court, and so that's where I'm at.
Rachel, just wondering, before you went off to UNO, if you ever had a chance before the renovation to come to Horsch for a match?
Oh, I've been here many times. My high school volleyball team did summer camp here, so very familiar with the area, players and coaches. One of my best friends since kindergarten plays at KU, so it's awesome to. Kennedy Ferris, yes, and so it's awesome to get to see her across the net. We played together since we were 10, maybe, and so it was great to be in a familiar area. And I was like, oh. Been here multiple times. In my college career, too, we've played here once or twice, right?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. So it's just like, okay, like, done this before. It's nothing new. And so it was great.
Coach, I think that people often look at mid-majors and they assume, you know, we don't play in these types of arenas, these types of matches, but you played 5 Power 5 opponents this year, including KU. How much do you think that helped you tonight, and how much do you think that sets you up for the future?
No idea. You know, we knew what to expect. We'd seen them. We're just trying to play good competition. I don't even really get too wrapped up in the distinctions, to be honest. So we're trying to play good competition. Our goal is to be a nationally competitive program, and we're going to play a schedule when we can that does that. You know, so. It doesn't always line up that way with returns and everything like that, but we're gonna push the envelope in what we try to take on, and that's competition, right? Like, we just don't want to come in and coast. I guess that's just not interesting to me. That's not why I coach. You know, we do with the town. I mean, there's a lot of things we do that we do because it's a challenge, and I think when things are a challenge, that's when things are the most meaningful. And so whether it's tactically, technically, or the opponent across the net, you know, that's the environment. It's competitive athletics, and not let's see what we can skate by with athletics. So we want to be competitive.
All right, any more questions? We'll do one more.
This is just about Omaha culture showing up. You saw a lot of black and red out there, and I heard Omaha a lot over this loud atmosphere at the Jayhawks. So just talk about how awesome it felt to see that.
I'll jump in because I thought it was awesome. It's a great environment. You know, they've done a great job here at Kansas building a culture and building success. Hats off to Coach Bouchard. He's always been very supportive, and so just to have our group in there really come down and support us in the midst of this, it's confined, and tight, and loud. I thought it was awesome. What do you guys think?
I agree. It's just such an enlightening moment when, obviously, in a stadium like that, you can hear a lot of noise, but when you can hear the noise throughout the crowd of the support that you're getting and you know you have your people behind you, it just brings the game to a whole nother level. And they have been great at that for the past 5 years, like the community in Omaha. It's been a great progress to see.
Yeah, our fan support builds every year, and just the amount of people that showed up for us tonight is huge. And I love being on the court, but sometimes they get so rowdy up there. It seems like such a good time, and they're just always there for us, and they are huge for us. So.
Thank you to Omaha for joining us, and congratulations on a great season.